Cassidy, where are you right now? Mom is really worried about where you've ran off to. It's the day of your meeting with the guy, and yet you're nowhere to be found.
Mom is still trying to find where I am. I already told her that I'm not going to meet with that guy.
What? Are you going to no-show for the meeting they set up for you?
That's what I've decided. I'm not going to let my parents be the ones to decide who I go out with. That's boring and lame. I want to live a life that I get to decide. So I'm going to wait to marry a man that I find fit for myself instead.
Huh? What are we even talking about right now? You were the one that wanted Mom and Dad to find you a partner to begin with, right? You made such a big deal about how you wanted to marry a man with a lot of money and asked Mom and Dad to look for a man like that for you. That's why Mom and Dad went through all the effort to get this meeting ready for you so that you could see the guy they think you'll like.
And at the time, the goal was to get married to a good-looking man with a lot of money. But look, after making such a big deal out of it, I ran into the man I am destined for. That's when I realized everything I needed to. It's not about money when it comes to marriage. It's all about the love and care that they show you.
Please don't tell me you went out and found yourself a male host and are planning to marry him over one time of him showing you some attention?
What? Why do you know about something like that? I never told anyone in the family, including you, that I've been paying to see male hosts.
There was something that had fallen right in front of your bedroom door. A card that you must have received from one of those hosts, and it was bedazzled. Also, you've been recently coming home at like 3 or 4 in the morning pretty often. You often smell of pure liquor every time. I knew right away what was going on there.
Wow, you're like a detective.
As long as the both of you actually love one another, that's fine. But before you run off with a man like that, you need to deal with the other responsibilities you have, please. You have a meeting with a man you were asking Mom and Dad to look for, right? You need to go to both Mom and Dad and that man and apologize to them before saying you're no longer interested. That's the least you can do for them all.
What? I'm not doing any of that. I can apologize to them all I want, but they're going to be pissed at me for this. So that's why I'd like you to go to all of them and tell them that I'm not coming today and that I'm sorry about it.
Huh? Why do I have to do something like that for you?
Well, you're my older sister, and your job is to take responsibility for your cute little sister. So with that, please take care of things back home. Today I have a date with Jake at Mouse World. Hey, Helena, please listen. I finally got something from Cassidy. She told me that she's not coming to today's meeting at all now. She said she found herself the man she's destined for and will be marrying him.
Just a second ago, she was telling me all about that. It seems as though the male host she's been going out with recently has taken a hold of her heart.
A male host? The man she's destined for is a male host of all people?
She said she finally came around to realizing that love is more important than money. So because of that, she wanted to tell you to cancel the meeting today with the man you had planned for her, and to do it as soon as possible. And after today, you should probably go apologize to him for it.
But... I could never go through with canceling this meeting now. The man I had prepared for her is someone I had to pull a lot of strings with to get to go to this meeting. He happens to be a businessman that's helping run his family's company right now. And on top of that, he happens to be the son of a very important customer to your dad. So there's no way I'm going to be able to cancel this meeting on him now.
Wait, really? Then we're going to have to go and get Cassidy and have her go to meet him right away. I'll tell her to go back home right now.
No, it's no use trying to do that with her now. I'm not even able to get her to read the texts I'm sending to her anymore.
What?
I might have tried too hard to get a hold of her and really drove her off. The last thing she said to me was that if I'm going to be so upset about her, then she's not coming back home. And since that text, she hasn't read anything and won't pick up her phone to my calls either. Your dad has even tried calling her, and she won't pick up for him either.
No way! She's not reading any more of my texts that I've sent. I think she's gone and blocked me, actually.
I knew this would happen with her. If this is how things are going to be, then it's up to you. I want you to go to that man we have waiting. I want you to go and meet with that CEO's son right now for your sister.
Huh? Why do I have to go see him?
You're already old enough now, and this is the perfect chance for you to find a good man to marry. He happens to be the son of a CEO and helps run the family business with his dad. If you and him get along, then you'll be set for life. He's in his 50s now, but he is a good-looking man, and I think you'll like him.
Hold your horses. He's in his 50s right now? I'm only 28 years old, Mom.
You'll be fine. Karen happens to be married to a man who is 45 years older than her. Compared to her, you're only around 22 years younger than him, so you're fine.
That does not make me feel any better about seeing him. And the other thing is that I'm not even wanting to get married right now.
Oh, just shut up already and get yourself prepared to go see him. Your little sister went and canceled last minute on him, and you, being her older sister, means you have to take over for her. It's your job.
Huh?
You're the older sister, right? If your little sister doesn't want to do something anymore, then you step in to do it for her. That's what it means to be an older sister.
For crying out loud, Mom, ever since I was little, you've always been forcing me to do everything for her, all because I'm her older sister. I'm tired of having to be the one to clean up after all of Cassidy's messes.
Excuse me?
I never thought the day would come where you'd actually force me to clean up a mess like this for her. Having to go out with the man she was crying for? Who the hell have you thought I am this whole time, Mom? Every dang time my little sister causes trouble or makes an accident, you send me in to clean up the mess. I'm not Cassidy's janitor.
What is with that attitude of yours? When have I ever treated you like her janitor?
You've been treating me like that ever since she was born. Every time she got yelled at in school, and you blamed me for it, saying I wasn't watching her close enough. Why the hell did I have to act like her parent at school and apologize for everything she did? And what about the times that Cassidy would break her friends' toys? You would blame me for not being there to manage how she handled the toys. And then would take my allowance away and use it to pay for new toys. I'm sick and tired of being there to take blame for everything she does.
Shut up right now! This is what it means to be an older sister. Now you cut it out with all that back-talking and get your ass ready to go see that man. If you don't, I'm going to have you kicked out of this house.
What did you say to me?
You are too old now to not be married yet, and instead all you've been doing is living in your parents' house. If you want to keep living your life like that, the least you can do is shut up and be useful to your parents. You are going to see that man now that Cassidy isn't going. Do you hear me, Helena? I want you to make everything work with him and make him your husband so that you don't have to rely on your dad and I anymore. And once you and him have your marriage, I want you sending your dad and I $2,000 every month.
Huh? Enough! Since when?
Since when what?
Since when did this become about me sending you guys any money? This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
I was expecting my young and pretty Cassidy to be the one to marry that man, but now I'm no longer able to get any response from her. So I'm going to make you responsible for her actions, and we'll have you marry him now and send us our money. You marry that man, and you pay us every month as a way of being as good of a daughter to us as Cassidy was. Helena, today I'm going to be coming back to Mom and Dad's house.
Cassidy?
Long time no see, right? Have you been doing okay?
Where have you been all this time? Ever since that day you never talked to me. We've had no clue about where you went. I thought you died or been kidnapped or something. Yet after 5 years, you're just gonna come back to Mom and Dad's like nothing ever happened?
Man, I'm sorry about whatever happened back then. I guess I pissed Mom and Dad off a lot more than I'd first imagined. I was too afraid to go back home to them, so that day I chose to start living with my boyfriend.
Boyfriend? Are you talking about the male host you were after then?
That's right. I went and stayed at Jake's house. Then he and I got engaged, but then we broke up. But then we got back together again. A lot has happened in the past 5 years. But the next big thing that's happened is I've become pregnant with his kid. That's why I've planned to tell all of you guys about how we've gotten married and are having a baby when I'm home.
What? You got married and now you're pregnant?
So much has happened to me that I'm sure you're shocked, right? When I showed Mom and Dad my big belly, they were both just as shocked as you are.
You showed them your belly already. Wait, so then you're already at the house then?
That's what I've been trying to say. And that's why I said starting today, I'd be back in their house. Just a bit ago, I got back from my 5 years vacation. I was assuming they would never let me back into the house again, but they both cried when they saw me and were so happy.
I'm sure they were. For some reason or another, Mom and Dad just love you so much that they'd do anything for you. And while you've been gone, you got married and are going to give birth to their grandchild. All of their wishes as your parents have come true by this point.
And this is all thanks to you, Helena. Thank you so much for being a single woman this whole time. Because of that, both Mom and Dad were able to let me right into the house without even thinking about it.
Huh?
Man, I was surprised by that. I had given you the chance to land yourself a man with all that money and a very bright future. But he told you no when you went to see him? You were told that you weren't his type by an old geezer in his 50s? That pretty much means you're screwed as a woman.
What? Well, he was expecting to be marrying a 22-year-old woman who never had any experience with a man before, and that's what Mom told him. However, I happened to be 28 at the time, and that wasn't part of the deal, so of course he'd say no to me.
And since then, you've been alone with not a single man interested in you, right? That is too crazy. No wonder Mom and Dad were so happy to have me come back to them after 5 years. Mom told me she was getting so fed up with a worthless daughter like you who never did anything for her parents. She then told me that she never expected to see her baby's face again, so this is the happiest she's felt in a long time.
That's just like Mom and Dad to be the most cruel people in the family. I never turned out to be the child they wanted, so they abandoned me and put all their love and care into you.
And so, Helena? About them not caring about you any from today, you're no longer allowed back in this house. I'm going to make sure that the parasite who has been living off her parents for far too long without ever finding herself a man or making any kids is gone for good.
Huh?
Well, Mom and Dad both told me that it would be wonderful if after giving birth to my baby, I just lived with them forever. So I gave my man a call about it. And he told me that if things are going okay after the birth, it would be totally okay to live with my parents. So that means he's going to need room for all his things in this house, too.
So what you're saying is that in order to accommodate your husband now, you're going to give him my room?
That's right. I'm so sorry that I'm always so selfish and both Mom and Dad do everything for me. But you've always been such a loser ever since you were a little girl, so it's not my fault everyone has grown tired of you and wants you gone.
Huh?
I'm going to take all your crap now and throw it outside the house for you, all right? A parasite your age needs to learn that you don't get access to everything anymore. Especially when your cute and loved little sister needs it more. So it's time for you to go. I really hope that you can end up like me soon, finding yourself a good husband and a house to live in.
I'm not living in that house anymore. I live with my husband in a high-rise apartment now.
What?
So go ahead and live with Mom and Dad again. Do whatever the heck you want, really. All of that has nothing to do with me. So have fun moving your husband into their house as well.
What? Husband? And a high-rise apartment? Helena, have you already started to have early onset dementia or something? You're a single woman, so you don't have a husband. And there's no way you'd ever afford to live in one of those kinds of apartments. That is so insane of you to say something like that I just peed myself a little laughing.
I'm sorry, but nothing about this is insane. It's all very, very real. I moved out of Mom and Dad's house long ago, actually.
Huh? What are you going on about? You have been living with Mom and Dad all your life, right? You told everyone that the only way you'd be moving out of their house is if you got married, right?
And that was the plan, but I got kicked out of the house by Mom and Dad. After you ran away, they forced me to go and meet the man you were supposed to see, but that old guy told me I wasn't his type and left. Mom and Dad had been hoping that one of their daughters would end up with a man loaded with money, but I wasn't able to achieve that for them. So Mom told me that she never wanted to see my face again, and that's when I got kicked out of the house.
What?
Of course, by that point, they had gotten on my last nerve, so I jumped on what she was wanting from me and said I would never come back again. And ever since that day, I've not once gone back to see them.
Is that right? But in your room that you were living in, all your things are in here. All your clothing and your bags, makeup, all of it is in here. Yet, you're telling me you don't live here anymore?
They told me to leave their site when they were out of the house right after that 50-year-old left. At that point, I was so fed up with everyone that I didn't even go home to grab any of my things. After that, I started renting a small apartment and had to buy all the things I needed back.
No way.
Then a little while after all that, I met someone amazing and we ended up getting married. But actually, I still haven't gotten around to telling Mom or Dad about it. I'm sorry, but could you go and tell those two about it? Let them know that their older daughter's been married for some years now, and explain to them that my husband and I have a very nice high-rise apartment now, and I'll not be going back to them. Then you can finish by saying that you and your husband are totally welcome to move into their house now.
Wait. No way. Why did you never ever tell something so important to Mom and Dad? Couldn't you have at least told Mom that you got married? And what do you mean you both live in a high-rise apartment? I still don't get that. What kind of man did you end up marrying?
He's just your average office worker, but both him and myself have been doing very well in the fields we work. So the money that each of us bring in each year is comparable to that of a doctor.
Comparable to that of a doctor?
You think I'd ever in my entire life want to tell those two dumbasses about the wonderful life I'm living now? Those two wanted me to marry a man in his 50s so that they could have access to all his money, right? And when that didn't work out, after forcing me to take your place and meeting him, they cast me out of the house. I was worried that the only thing that would come from telling them about marriage was trouble.
I get that, but...
That's all I have to say now. And let me just say, don't bother asking me for any gifts because you're having a baby. I plan on cutting ties between myself and all of you.
Hey, Helena, I heard about you from Cassidy. What the hell were you thinking not telling your parents that you got married? And what's this about you living in a high-rise apartment now? Why have you not been telling your parents about any of that important information?
That's because this information is too important for two dumbasses to know about. Did you not understand that?
Excuse me? You... Who the hell do you think you are calling your own parents dumbasses?
I don't think of myself as anyone special. Just you happen to be two dicks that think they can treat their older daughter like garbage because she didn't get the old creepy 50-year-old to marry her. I think calling you both dumbasses is the perfect description, to be honest.
At that time, both your dad and I were very tired. That day your little sister just vanished on us, and we had to make sure to take good care of that man because he's the son of your dad's customer. That's why we kind of took out all our anger on you. We didn't actually think that a man like him would be interested in you and turn you away.
I'm not here to listen to your excuses, Mom, and it's not just that that makes you and Dad dumbasses. Ever since I was little, you have both completely ignored me for Cassidy and made me responsible for all of the mistakes she made. When you blew up on me the last time, I had had enough myself, and that's why I chose to never go back to you guys. No matter how much you try to apologize and excuse yourself for the way you treated me, I'm not going to let you guys back in my life.
Don't say something so depressing. How about we celebrate both yours and Cassidy's wedding? We can have both your guys' husbands come, and we can all eat delicious food together while sharing good memories we have. I really want to meet your husband, Helena.
Huh?
Oh, can you please at least bring him over to your parents' house just one time? I'll get all kinds of good foods made up for you two, and I'll even prepare a bed for you both to sleep in. It would be wonderful to have the both of you.
What is this all about? Your favorite baby, Cassidy, has come back home to you now, so you don't need me anymore. You're gonna have a grandbaby here soon as well. And from what I've heard, Cassidy and her husband will be moving in with you guys long term, right? I'll most definitely not be bringing my husband back to a place like that, so no thank you.
Then if I make sure Cassidy and them don't live with us, will you come by and stay a while? I really want you to introduce us to your husband who is able to afford a high-rise apartment. If you're able to promise us that you'll bring him over, then I'll do my very best to kick Cassidy out of here. And if you find that you're more happy back here, you are more than welcome to move back home to this house and live with us again. As long as your husband comes too.
What? You don't want to have Cassidy and her husband come live with you? She told me you were so happy to have her home.
And at first I was super happy to see her again. But I never thought that you'd hide from your dad and I the fact that you got married. And, well, without the knowledge of you having a husband like that, I thought that Cassidy was the only one who had a chance at seeing a grandbaby and having someone come and live with us again. But I never knew that her husband used to be a male host at some point. And from what she's told me, he's not even working anymore and just stays home all day. They want to come and live with your dad and I here, but don't plan to give us any money in return. Now that I'm aware of this, I don't want any of them living in my house at all.
What?
At the time, Cassidy came in saying she just got married and was bringing us our first grandbaby. And along with that, she told us the man she married had connections to Dad's work, so of course I was okay with them both coming to live with us. Your dad and I really thought she got married to such a wonderful man.
But it turned out that the man she married is a jobless ex-male host.
And before knowing about any of that, we thought things would go perfectly. We assumed that her husband had money and all that, so we already started to talk about having the house updated and expanded in order to make it all comfortable for us. Her husband having such a job would mean he could afford it, and so I asked her if he would be able to pay for all that work to be done to the house. And that's when she said he doesn't have that kind of money. I was wondering how he didn't have the money to afford such work, and so I asked about it. She told me he wasn't a CEO or anything just yet, but had plans to start his company really soon. She told me he's currently unemployed, but soon he will start his own male host club, like a men's strip club, and make that his business.
So he plans to start his own business.
I was so happy to have Cassidy back in our lives again, but I'm a bit disappointed by all the horrible news she told us after. But you're in a totally different situation than her, right? Your dad and I will apologize for everything we did to you in the past. We can make up again, and you can live with us again, right?
Who the hell would do that with you two? I have no plans of letting you guys meet my husband, and I sure as hell am not going to go back and live with all of you. Your younger daughter isn't doing good enough, so you switch to your older daughter. Your older daughter isn't doing good enough, so you switch back to your younger daughter. And then the cycle starts all over again. Back and forth, back and forth. How many more times are you and Dad going to keep going back and forth between which daughter you want to care more about?
Hey, we're not going back and forth like that!
Don't ever talk to me again. I'll never tell you anything else about the life my husband and I live, so don't bother me anymore. I've chosen to live the rest of my life believing that I never had parents or a sister.
This is the worst. Because of you, I've been kicked out of Mom and Dad's house. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Huh?
Mom and Dad were so happy to have me back home with them again. But the moment they found out that my husband used to be a host and is now jobless, they turned me away. She told me that they're having you move back in with them, so I needed to leave now. They won't even let me have my baby here with them and want me to leave.
They kicked you out already? I have no plans of going back there, and I thought I made that clear already.
Because of this, I need you to tell me where your apartment is right now. I'm coming to your place to relax and have my baby there. That's what I've decided, and nothing's going to change my mind about it.
What?
Had you just stayed single instead of getting married, then Mom and Dad would have never kicked me out of their house because I would have been their only hope. You're going to take responsibility for this.
Shut the hell up, you idiot! I want you to go screw yourself with that responsibility and then walk your ass back to your home and hope that you can still have a baby after being screwed that hard.
What? Shut up! Do something about this right now! You're my older sister, right? I'm not kidding when I say that my husband has no job right now, and that means no money at all. So as my older sister, you should be helping your little sister and her husband in trying times like these.
Go screw yourself. I'm blocking you right now, so have fun crying to nobody.
Huh? You're blocking me? Wait a freaking minute. There is no way you can block me right now, you jerk.
Then watch this.
Wait! Hey! There is no way you just blocked me. Hey! You read these messages I'm sending to you right now. Helena, please! I'm sorry for everything, and I'll apologize to you in person if you just please let me come to your apartment. I don't have anywhere else to go right now. Helena, please. Helena, please don't leave me.
And just like that, I was able to show Cassidy that I could and would indeed be blocking her. After doing that, we never got any crap from her again, and my husband and I were able to continue living our lives in peace. From some rumors I overheard, it seems that Cassidy and her husband had to end up moving into a dirt-cheap apartment that doesn't even have its own bathroom. They began to fight in that tiny apartment, all while Cassidy has still been carrying her baby, and she makes sure every day to tell her husband that she's realized that money is far more important than love and destiny and tells him to go get a job. But because of their constant fights, things between them only continue to get worse. Recently, her husband stopped coming home to her, and she would cry on the floor asking why she was given a life like this. When it comes to my parents, my dad sent me a few emails saying that they want me to move back home with them now that they have gotten rid of Cassidy. Or if that's not what I want, then I could at least let them come live with my husband and I in the apartment. Of course, I never responded to any of those emails, and soon I'm thinking of blocking my dad as well. But until then, I'm going to continue reading through these emails so that I can enjoy watching those two morons freak out like their lives depend on me.
Winter, you're going to be free tonight, right? We're having a little get-together for drinks tonight, so please come around 8 p.m. at this place. Hey, Winter, do you mind replying to me?
Sorry, I was just having a meeting at work. I'm not going to be able to make it tonight, sorry.
Huh? You of all people are going to act cocky like that?
Well, you're asking me to go out with you all at 8 p.m. tonight, and it's almost 5 already.
I'm sure once you get out of work today, you're just going right home to watch TV all night, right? If it's something that you really want to watch, just record it and watch it later.
Actually, I have plans to meet with someone else tonight. And when it comes to that little get-together you're throwing, it's meant to help you find someone to date, right? Every time you invite me out, you always say it's to have drinks, or it's a class reunion, but in reality, every time it's been in order to help you find a man, right?
Well, if I said they were all meant to help me find a man, you would never come, right?
Well, I don't have a reason to go. You just bring me to those events to use me as someone you can bash on, thinking that'll help you find somebody. All that does for me is embarrass me.
Listen, Winter, I'm just trying to be a good friend by showing the both of us around to some men in the hopes that the both of us end up with husbands someday. So if anything, I'd like you to thank me for doing that all the time.
Well, it's never fun for me, though.
Well, because you're supposed to find someone after me. I want you to sit beside me and take the crap I give you, and then once I've gotten myself the man I want, you're free to go find yourself one. Honestly, it's the best this way because I help make you look more attractive. Let's be real here, you're a very basic woman with not that many features that men want. So by having me as a friend at all these events, I am practically handing you a power-up that you can use. Sorry that you're just that out of touch with the man-hunting game, that it makes you feel bad when you have to sit next to 100 like me. If you don't have more friends like me around you, you know, the loud and crazy type, then men are never going to notice you.
Well, I don't like any of that, hence why I don't want to go anymore.
Oh, come on now. Back in elementary school and back in middle school and back in high school, I was always there by your side helping you find boys, right? And when it came to the high school beauty contest, I was there helping you win.
I really never liked to stand out that much, though, so you're forcing me through all of that was awful.
But because of me, you became pretty popular, right?
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, anywho, I've already gotten some people together to go out to that matching party, so I need you there. You have no other choice now but to come. Tonight I have a lot of fighting spirit, and I don't want it going to waste.
You always have a lot of fighting spirit, though, when you do go to those things.
But today's different. Today, a really popular comic artist is going to be there, and he has sold millions of copies of his latest series.
A comic artist?
Right now, his most popular series is being made into a TV show, and he has been in all sorts of magazines. He is so popular that I bet most of the people we hang out with know him. And today, I am planning on making that man my best friend, and hopefully, something more in the future. One of my other friends that happens to know him personally said they'd introduce me to him as well today.
Fiona, are you even interested in things like comic books?
Not really. Comics are for nerds, right?
I don't think that's a good way of looking at it. Right now, comics and movies and shows based on them are a big deal. And they make a ton of money with their collectibles and toys as well.
Yeah. I don't really care for comic books, but I do happen to care for money.
Money?
Being a famous comic artist doesn't just get you all the attention, but the money as well. The fact that he has a TV series in the making right now based off his comics tells me he's in for another large paycheck. I'm sure everyone is going to want to watch his series. Once that's over, movie producers and people like that will be flooding to ask him to make more movies and material off his comics. And what's even better about him is that since he works on comics all the time, he's most likely never out of his house for anything. Meaning that once I've made him mine, there will be no other woman that can get to him, right? He is the #1 person that I need to be getting married to right now.
I wonder. But if you both don't share some of the same hobbies, I'm not sure if things will work out in the long run.
You're a real idiot. That's why you still haven't found a man to marry yet. The most important thing when it comes to marriage is money. And the other most important thing is someone that will give you space. I want a man with lots of money who is too focused on his work to be bothered with me.
Then what you're wanting is not a partner, but someone you can get money from without having to really do anything with them. Really, I think you're better off finding yourself a bank or something to do that for you.
That's 100% correct. The man is supposed to make the money in order to make his woman happy, and in return, her being happy will keep her around him longer. Understood? In other words, I'm going to get myself that walking pile of cash who calls himself a comic artist today. If I'm able to make things work between him and I, then my life will be set forever.
Well, if that's what you're doing, then I really can't go. I already have plans and I really don't care to be your wingman or whatever anymore. And I think after today, you can just stop inviting me to go out with you all together. Now I have some work to finish up on, so that's it from me today.
You don't want any leftovers? I will be taking the comic artist tonight, but you can have access to all the other men there. Hey, Winter! If you regret not coming tonight, I don't want to hear about it. If you start asking me to introduce you to any men after this, I'm not going to bother. Hi, Winter. It's been too long. How have things been between you and Fiona recently? I heard from her that a little while ago you and her went to a matching party, right?
Hi, Aunt Laura. Sorry for not talking to you in so long. The only reason I went with her to that party the last time is because she said it was a class reunion. But in reality, it was a matching party. Seems all she really cares about right now is finding herself a man at those strange events. She just wants to hurry up and get married soon is all. Anyway, I contacted you today to ask you something. What do you have to ask? Last night, were you at a restaurant called The Bread? How do you know about that? Well, that restaurant happens to be run by my husband's friend. And since yesterday was their opening ceremony, we went there to have some drinks and food to celebrate with his friend. Is that right? Well, can you please tell Uncle Rick's friend that it was very delicious, the dinner we ate last night? I'll let him know. So, was the man you were with last night your boyfriend? So you saw me with him? Is he your boyfriend? Yes, he is. The man I was with was my boyfriend. Well, actually, you should call him my fiancé now. Fiancé? He only just proposed to me a little while ago, so not many people know quite yet. We haven't even gotten around to planning a lot of it out yet either, and the only people who really know about this are my parents. Well, well, well! So you're going to end up getting married before even Fiona could! I mean, ever since you and her were little girls, you've both been such good friends with one another and done everything together, right? And, well, from what I could tell, she was always ahead of you when it came to becoming a woman and things like that, right? She was the one to learn how to write before you, how to cook before you, how to get a boyfriend before you. She's always been ahead of you in all those sorts of things. So I was really expecting her to be the first one to get married before you as well, but... Well, you've really pulled ahead of her here, getting married before she could even find herself a man. Yeah. Where is he working right now? How much does he make in a year? Where is he from? When we get married, we can talk about all of that more. You can tell me a little about him right now. Where is he living right now? I could see by the way he was dressed that he's a very professional man, and he had a very nice watch on his wrist at the time. Where did you ever meet a man like that? I'm sorry, Aunt Laura. I have a meeting to get to for work right now, so I'm going to have to excuse myself. In a little bit, once we figure things out, I'll let you know about the wedding and all that. And as for this whole thing of having a fiancé and getting married thing, can you please not tell Fiona about it yet? Why can't I tell her? I'd like to tell her myself. Now I have to go, so I'll talk to you later. Hey, Winter, what the hell is going on here? You turned down my invite to come with me to find ourselves some men to go on a date with your fiancé? She told you? And from what I heard, he seems to have a lot of money. There's no way you found a man like that. I told her not to tell you yet because you'd be a pain in my butt about it. My mom would never keep quiet about something like this. I guess so. She's always been the type who can't keep her dang mouth shut, always spilling the beans about everything and anything in order to create drama.
Now you tell me about this fiancé?
I'm getting married, Fiona.
I'm not messing around right now. Who said you could get married before me?
Is that a bad thing?
It sure as hell is. I should be the one getting married before you.
I don't think there's ever been a set path for who gets to get married first.
I've also been shown a picture that my mom took. He is way too good looking for a plain loser like you. And that wristwatch he has on, that's one of those insanely expensive ones, right?
She took a picture of us?
She took it in secret.
You're kidding me. She'd do something like that.
So, is it true that you're planning on marrying that sexy man?
Well, that's what him and I have been talking about. We haven't chosen an exact date yet for the wedding, but we're wanting one soon.
Where will it be happening at?
As of right now, we're thinking of having it in Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Both of us don't really like to stand out at all too much, so we've been looking for a place that's away from everyone. There we can just have a close family and friends come, and that'll be enough for us. And since this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for us, we decided we want to have the wedding in a nice, secluded resort for all of our guests.
So you're going to be getting married before me, and to add salt to the wound, you're having your wedding in Hawaii? Do you really think it's okay to be that stupid? Because to me, it sure as hell isn't okay. Winter, that fiancé of yours and that wedding, you give both to me right now.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm saying that I'll take your place for you. He has enough money to throw a wedding in Hawaii, right? And when looking at his face, there's not a thing wrong with it. He also has a good sense of fashion based off the clothing he had on. A man with that kind of high-brand, expensive clothing on would do so much better with me as his wife.
High-brand, expensive clothing. Was the clothing he had on yesterday really that expensive looking to you?
You really have no idea what's going on, do you? Everything he was wearing was very high-brand fashion that is hard to obtain in this town. Hard to obtain anywhere besides, like, New York City or something.
Well, I never knew anything about that, but what I'm more concerned about right now is you asking me to hand over my fiancé when we only just got engaged. There's no way I'd let you have him, right?
Back in high school, you gave me a boyfriend, right?
You stole him from me, Fiona. He was my first love, and you stole him.
Then I guess I'll be stealing another of your boyfriends.
What? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now? This is a lot different than a high school boyfriend. We are engaged right now.
And? It doesn't matter to me what your guys' titles are. It's far too easy to steal from you, so that's what I'm going to do.
You cut that out. You need to go out and find a single man of your own to get at one of those parties or whatever the hell you've been doing. Stop bothering me with your crazy ideas.
And the most recent party was a bust. That comic artist that was said to be coming never showed up. And at the age we're at now, all the men that show up to these parties are all useless to me. So I'm done trying to find myself a husband there.
What the heck?
So now that my mom was kind enough to tell me about your fiancé for me, I'm clear to go and get him. Thank you for finding him for me. It's a lot easier to just steal men from someone else than it is to go to those matching parties.
Wait a second, Fiona. Right now, my fiancé and I are in a very important and busy part of our lives. Stop trying to ruin this for us. Fiona?
Winter, are you doing all right? I'm sure you're not, though. I was able to steal your fiancé after all. And right at this moment, he's in this room with me. And it wasn't just him that I was able to get, but your wedding that's in Hawaii as well. Sorry about that.
Huh? I'm having my wedding right now here in town, though.
What? What are you talking about? Your fiancé is literally sitting right beside me now.
Actually, I want to know what you're talking about, Fiona. I was just out on stage with my fiancé a second ago getting married, and we're preparing for the dance right now.
Hold it right there. What is going on here?
Honestly, I'm not sure myself. A little while back, you were going on about how much you wanted to steal my fiancé from me, but for the past 3 months, nothing has been happening between us. I just assumed you gave up or something.
Wait, what's this about having your wedding right now in town? You should be having the wedding in Hawaii, right?
I suppose we did want to have the wedding out there, but I had a lot of people asking to come to my wedding. And since the amount of people wanting to come would be too many for the Hawaii-based location, we ended up having the wedding here. There is a famous person at this wedding after all, so it makes sense that a lot of people would want to come to it.
Famous person? Who?
My fiancé. And actually the vows are already over with and we handed in the marriage papers already, so I really should be calling him my husband now.
What famous person?
The comic artist that you were saying everybody knows about?
Huh? Comic artist?
You do remember the time I told you I got hired to work for a publishing company, right? And the most recent series that he got started on happens to be published by the company I work for, and I manage the publishing of his work. When the comics start going out on the shelves, the one in charge is going to change. But as of right now, I'm the one that oversees all the work done to help create the actual published material. But that's not all I've been working on, as I'm also helping him get his comic series turned into movies.
You said that I said everyone knows him. Is he Will? Will Hamilton?
That's him.
He was the man that was supposed to come to that party to see me.
Right, and when I went out to dinner with him that night, he told me all about you.
He told you about me?
He said something along the lines of one of his friends wanting him to go to this matching party to meet a woman his friend knows. But of course my husband said no to that. He's actually told me all about how once he became famous, there have been all these people inviting him to parties trying to get him hooked up with someone. And of course, every single time he said no to them. And that's why on the day you were expecting to meet him, he said no to the invite because he had plans with me. Not like he was going to go there in the first place, though.
Wait, then that means the picture my mom took of you guys, the guy that's sitting right next to me is...
Now that you mention it, I think I know what happened. On that day, I'd met with two different men. I had dinner with my now husband, of course, but there was this random man that came to the restaurant before my husband arrived.
Are you telling me that the man sitting next to me is...
That's the random guy, I think. Well, he's not random to me anymore, but at the time he was. He so happens to be my husband's fashionable older brother. And he has a lot of borrowed money he's currently dealing with at the moment. My husband didn't end up inviting him to the wedding today, so that's why he's currently with you.
Older brother? And he's dealing with lots of borrowed money now?
On the day of our dinner date, he came in to talk with me about how he's the man I would be dating's older brother and that he needed our financial help. He knew about me being a publisher and tried to get me to start buying his own comics that he was making.
Comics?
He's always been a bit artistic as well when it comes to comics, but unlike his younger brother, he really sucks at illustrating and writing stories. So after reading one of those comics he was asking me to buy, I told him it was a no. He was told the same thing by many publishers actually, but he never gave up and soon went into major debt. Because he would never work a job, instead sitting in the house all day making those crappy comics.
He has never told me about how he makes comic books, and he sure has not told me about his debt. Anytime we've gone out on dates, he's always paid for me.
My husband's older brother had been married once before, and while he had a wife, he went to making comics because he noticed his younger brother doing so well from them. So with this dream of making loads of money himself doing what his brother did, he quit his job and started to draw and write. However, he spent all his time trying to make comics that he stopped spending any time with his wife and babies. So not too long after that, his wife took the baby and left. And ever since, he's been just digging and digging and digging himself into a deeper hole of debt.
You're lying, right? I never heard anything at all about that. He was married and he has a kid?
He's been trying to live a life of lies, and that's why he buys all of the really high-brand clothing. And if he were selling his comics instead of just continuing to write garbage, he'd probably be okay right now, but he hasn't been doing that. And instead keeps borrowing money to fuel his desire to buy every single piece of branded clothing. Fiona, you're going to marry him?
Hell no, not with a man like him. I don't need a man that can't become my bank.
Well, I'm planning on cutting ties to you soon. But if you get married to my brother-in-law, then we're going to have to continue being around one another a lot more than I'd like. So if you can, please break up with him right now.
Are you really married to that comic artist? You went and took my dream from me? And he chose to marry you over me? Why? I should be the one there right now married to him, not you. Had my mom not taken that picture at the wrong time, I could be there getting married to him.
It's actually really crazy that with just one picture, you were able to find my husband's brother and start dating him.
My mom told me that he left the restaurant before you did, and so she followed him out and asked for his number. She told him that she wanted to introduce him to a good friend of yours.
Aunt Laura really did it this time then.
That's why after seeing the photo my mom showed me and the number she handed me, I gave him a call.
So your mom thought that because he was sitting down with me at that time, that she was there, that he was my boyfriend, even though my actual boyfriend was running a little late. And seeing him walk out of the restaurant before his younger brother came to have dinner with me, she must have thought my boyfriend was heading home and that's why she went out and got his number. Your mom just made a minor mistake is all then.
That's right, one minor mistake. I haven't done anything wrong here. She was the one who made the mistake. And I only started to go out with this guy because of that mistake.
But you were doing all of this with the intent of stealing my boyfriend all at the time, right? In the end, there was never a problem for me, but I now understand what you've been completely after. And this only proves that you haven't changed from the Fiona you were in the past, who always treated me like trash. Now that I've been able to clearly see that you're still a terrible person, I can gladly say that I'm cutting ties to you. I need to do this before you start actually causing trouble to my husband and I.
You can't cut ties to me that easily. I'm one of your best friends, and we've been together forever.
You might happen to know where our parents live, but you don't know my address, right? The only way we've stayed in touch is through text, and that's pretty much it. All I have to do is block you, and that'll be it from you. I'll also let everyone else around us know what happened to keep their mouths shut.
Do you really plan on cutting ties to me? I was hoping that at the very least after today, your husband would introduce me to some of his wealthy friends.
No way would he do that for you. He would never want one of his friends being used like that. That's why today was the last time I talked to you. Goodbye forever now, Fiona.
Winter, please help. I heard all about this from Fiona. I made some mistakes and introduced Fiona to the wrong man. I was being too hasty at the time.
Aunt Laura, this isn't even about you making a mistake there. The fact that you wanted her to have my fiancé is the problem. Why would you try doing something like that to me?
Well, you and her are longtime best friends, right? You should be telling her about the men you're with right away.
It's a bit messed up for you to go out asking my supposed fiancé at the time for his number in order to give it to Fiona.
Well, that was just, well, for instance, the wedding after party, all right? Maybe they had some things they wanted to talk about regarding that.
I'd never told you anything about our wedding yet then, right? I told you I'd update you at a later time if we chose something. But I never did that either. Are you sure you weren't doing all of that because you were hoping that Fiona would steal my fiancé from me?
Well, Fiona should be the one getting married before you. It's screwed up that you were getting married before her.
I always had this feeling ever since your family and mine started hanging out that you guys looked down on my family quite often. But I never thought you were all just complete nut jobs. I'm sorry to tell you, but I've already gone and cut ties with Fiona. And I'm planning on doing the same with you now. I have no desire to be around you two anymore in my life, so please leave me alone and never come looking for me ever again.
You wait just a second. Fiona and that man have come and moved into my house. They have both been using all my money and they won't help with any of the chores here. And even worse than both of those things is that they are both sloppy pigs making my house into one huge mess that I can never ever clean up. My husband has been so upset by all this that he's asking to divorce me now. My family is a complete mess right now. Please help us.
So in the end, she decided it was easiest just to become your parasite then. Well, you're not going to be getting any help from me.
She's been your friend forever, right? You and her have always been playing with one another and grew up together.
But you're her family, right? You were the one that birthed her and everything. I think you and your husband are much more responsible for her than I am, so do something yourselves, please.
No way.
Aunt Laura, you have never really been that good of a person to me, but this time you helped me out a lot.
Wait a second, Winter. Are you really going to cut ties to me, too?
Please enjoy having your look-alike daughter and her partner back in the house with you. Goodbye now. Even though she was the one asking for all this, Aunt Laura ended up kicking both Fiona and her boyfriend from the house. Fiona had tried to break up with her boyfriend, but he wouldn't let that happen as he needed her money to survive, and so they both are currently living in a cheap apartment together, where he's using her money to make more comics. The only thing is, Fiona doesn't work a very good job right now, so her income isn't all that much each month.
Hey, Frankie, hurry up and reply to me already. How much longer do you plan to keep me waiting?
Huh?
What do you think about the wedding venue I just sent you? Do you think it's a bit too nice looking? But you only have one chance in life to give a wedding, so it's best to go all out, right? Do you think paying around $100,000 for it would be fine?
I really do not care about you guys' wedding. I'm asking you to please just leave me alone and never send me these annoying text messages again.
Huh? Aren't you being a little rude, calling my messages annoying? This is all about your important little sister's wedding.
I think you meant to say sly little backstabbing sister, right? I cannot believe that you are going to marry Grant.
Well, of course I'm going to be marrying him. After all, he and I are like two peas in a pod and are inseparable. And by the way, how long are you going to carry on being upset with us? All of that built-up hate you have is not great to carry around and will only make your life more miserable.
Huh?
I get that you want to act like the victim here after having your first ever boyfriend stolen from you, but you never really had him stolen in the first place, right? He came to me saying how much he loved me, and I just said okay to him. Yet you continue to call me a little backstabbing sister all the time. That is so rude of you.
It's weird that you phrase it as if you're only saying okay to him. If you had any respect for yourself and your sister at that moment, then you should have said no and told me about what happened. It's not okay to say okay to your own sister's boyfriend like that. But you did that anyway, and then you continued to go out with him behind my back for some time.
Well, having him tell me he loved me was something I only ever dreamed about happening. He told me about how much he's always been in love with me and that he would much rather have me over you. It was so amazing how hot that confession was to me. I couldn't even think for a second before I went and said okay.
Huh?
I'm sure hearing all of that is like salt on a wound to you now, right? You had finally gotten yourself your first ever boyfriend, yet it turned out he only ever started dating you in order to get closer to me. Of course, I also had a boyfriend at the time, so his only option was to settle for you and wait on me. It was nice of him to say you have a pretty face like mine since we're twins, but he told you that I am the far better choice in terms of character. That was a bit rude for him to say, right?
It really was. I had never noticed something going on behind the scenes, and had even talked with him about everything like marriage and having kids. So strange, though, at that moment you left your boyfriend. He would go to you and confess how much he's in love with you. From my point of view, you both were in on this the whole time, and I consider the two of you complete and utter jerks for that. The worst that mankind has to offer, really.
And that's why I said this. I said, you can't keep acting like the victim here. You should feel lucky that you ended up with the same face as me. And had you just understood what was going on, you could have avoided all the heartache and just let me have him. But you never noticed he had feelings for me, and that's what led to him having to throw you aside. You can be all upset about it until the end of time if you want, but just don't hold it against us. And if you're jealous of me now because I get to marry him, you should stop that too. I understand that it's natural to be jealous of me, but I'm sure someday you'll be able to find another man.
Huh?
I'm so sorry about that. We both happen to have the same face, but man, is my personality way better than yours. There's me, who's had all these friends ever since I was young and was never dumped by any guys in my life. And then there's the dark little pouting girl who never had anybody love her. You. You have to understand that Grant would never want to love someone like that.
Talking to you is only raising my blood pressure even further and has given me a terrible headache, so let's be done here. I'm asking you to please just leave me alone forever. Go ahead and have your marriage with Grant if you want, but leave me out of all of that. There is literally no benefit to belittling me on and on like this.
You don't have to tell me to go ahead and marry him. I was going to marry him whether you wanted me to or not. But you're still going to come to our wedding for me, right? I have to have you give me a lot of money as a gift, or else I'll never be able to afford what I want.
Give you a gift?
That wedding venue that I just sent you the link to happens to cost a lot of money. However, neither Grant or I have that much money saved up to be able to afford it. And it would be embarrassing for the both of us to have to beg our parents for money, right? So instead of having our parents give us money, we need you to pay for us.
Would you shut up already? I'm not going to that wedding of yours, and I'm not giving you any money as a gift.
So the wedding venue has already been decided on then. The fact that the two of you were able to get back together is one thing, but now that you both will be getting married has made me very happy.
What? Sonny?
It's been too long since we last spoke to one another. How are things with you, Frankie? I was so happy to hear the news that I decided to talk to you again today. I was really shocked to hear about how you and Grant had broken up and all that. I didn't get to hear about all of it, but I'm sure my stupid son was the reason for that, right? However, the fact that you've forgiven my stupid son is very thoughtful of you, and I'm thankful for that. I'm going to make sure to celebrate your wedding with all my energy.
Sonny, I'm sorry to have to tell you this while you're so happy. I didn't get back together with Grant.
What? But you're going to get married, right? I was told by Grant just yesterday that he had chosen the place where he plans to have the wedding. Then he showed me a picture of you and him in a dress and tuxedo as you two started to go out looking for what you wanted to wear.
So you haven't heard anything else from Grant about himself then? The woman that Grant is planning on marrying now isn't me. That would be my little sister. She's my twin. Grant and I have not gotten back together, and I don't think we ever will.
What? Your twin? Your little sister?
I'm so sorry that you got your hopes up like that.
Wait. What? Is that really your twin then? Oh, I knew for a while that you always had a little sister, but she's your twin?
Yeah. And actually, we both happen to be identical twins, so our faces and everything looks very much alike. Actually, they're indistinguishable to most people. That's probably the reason why you thought that that was me in the picture you were shown.
What? No way, something like this is not possible. I've never heard of a man going out with his ex's little sister right after they've broken up. I had just thought that it was you in the picture when I saw it.
So Grant never told you a thing about what happened after the breakup. It so happens that the reason for the breakup is due to him and my little sister.
What? What do you mean by that?
From the start, it seems that Grant was always into my little sister. But unlike myself, my sister's been very popular and has had herself many boyfriends in the past. And at that time, she'd already had herself a boyfriend, so Grant settled with me since our faces are the same. He told her later that even if I wasn't her, we shared the same face and that would have to do.
Excuse me?
Of course, at the same time, I never knew anything about his true intentions and continued dating him thinking he actually loved me. But while we were dating, my little sister broke up with her then boyfriend. Since that was the chance Grant needed, he went to her and confessed how much he loved her. My little sister then said okay to him and he left me for her. That's why in the end we had to break up.
No way. My frickin' dumbass of a son has done something really bad this time. I never thought he could do something so depraved as that to you, to anyone.
I understand how much you liked me when I was dating your son, and have always been on my side wanting for Grant and I to get back together, but that's never gonna happen after all this. I'm sorry.
You should not be apologizing to me for any of that. I should be the one apologizing to you for him. I am so sorry about that idiot. I should have done better raising that brat. Something like that. What the hell was he thinking doing that to someone like you?
I don't think you need to apologize for him either. Neither of us should. Right now, I've completely given up on those two and no longer want anything to do with them. It's been a year now since the breakup.
But what's happened here is just unforgivable. Ugh, that's it. As a way of making things up to you for my idiot son, I'm going to give you some tickets to one of the upcoming DTS concerts. I was actually thinking that the two of us would have a chance to go together now, and that's why I bought them.
What? Did you really have a chance to buy a couple of tickets to that concert? It was sold out within minutes when I went online to buy them.
I got 2 of them, luckily. I thought that this would be the chance for you and I to finally go see them live as a treat for you and my son getting back together, but... So I'm just going to give these tickets to you as a sorry for what that idiot did. Take one of your best friends with you and go enjoy that concert.
That would be a waste, though. If you can still handle being around me, let's both, you and I, go together. We'd always been talking about going to one of their concerts together back when I was with Grant, right?
But you're his ex-girlfriend, and you ended up being left by him over a very terrible reason. I'm the mother of that stupid little brat, right? Would you really want to go to a concert like that with me?
No way, not at all. I want for the two of us to go there together. To tell you the truth, ever since I was dumped by Grant, I've been wondering what's been going on with you. We become so close together because we both love DTS so much, right? Ever since the breakup, I've been pretty lonely again and not many people to hang out with that are like you.
Saying something like that to me is so kind. Oh, I'm so happy.
From now on, let's forget Grant. Just continue our time together as close friends. Actually, since you're so close to me, I have something I'd really like to tell you.
Oh my, what could it be?
I'll have to tell you in person, okay?
Sounds great. I'll send you those tickets here soon, as well as all the information for the concert. We can meet a little bit before the concert to have coffee, and you can tell me all about what you have to say.
That'd be perfect. I'll be waiting for the concert information.
Hey, Frankie, you're way late. Don't be this late for your own little sister's wedding, all right? Hurry up and get here as soon as possible.
Huh? What wedding are you talking about again?
Huh? What is with that reaction? Before I contacted you about all of that, I gave you the date and the time and the location, right?
I never replied anything to that message, though. I didn't even say that I'd be going.
You think I'm actually going to believe a childish excuse like that from you? It's a bit screwed up not to come to one of your own family members' weddings. I'm not going to mess around with you today, so just hurry up and come. I'm going to be paying for this wedding today, so all of the staff here are patiently waiting for you to come with that gift of money for me.
What? So you told them that you'd pay for the wedding on your wedding day? Normally wouldn't one pay for their wedding weeks in advance so that they didn't have to worry about it anymore?
And our wedding altogether is going to cost around $100,000. We don't have that kind of money to just hand over. So hurry up and bring us that money.
What?
At the very worst, we're expecting to get around $10,000 out of you, so if that turns out to be the case, we'll just barely be able to pay for this wedding. So that gift has to have at least $10,000 in it.
At least $10,000?
You happen to be related to the bride, and you were once dating the groom, right? You have a lot of history with the two of us. So I'm sure $10,000 is totally worth it for all of that fun history we've shared with you. But of course, it wouldn't be wrong to expect anywhere from $30,000 from you, right?
What fun history? Are you really asking me to come to that wedding only to pay for part of it for you? Tell me, how much money have you gotten already in order to help pay for your wedding? And I mean how much of that money was gifted to you.
Well, we're expecting at least $10,000 from you, and then there's the $20,000 from both my parents and Grant's parents. Then there'll be the money from any other family members and friends, as well as the small amount we have in our savings. That should come out to around $100,000, we're thinking.
You think you'd be able to get that kind of money from pretty much just wedding gifts?
I happen to have a lot of friends, so there will be tons of them coming today. And since both Grant and I are loved by our parents, we expect a ton of money from them as well. So there isn't going to be any problem for us as long as you hurry up and come here with your gift to us.
So you haven't actually gotten any of that money yet. You're just expecting those amounts to come in today.
Of course that's how much they'll all be giving us. I know we don't have any of that money here just yet, but it's coming. No, you need to come here and give us at least $10,000 as well, okay? Then once we have everyone's gifts all together today, we can hand that money over to the staff and have them handle the rest.
All those people you just said you invited? Yeah, they've all come out to my wedding today.
What?
So I'm not sure I'll be able to bring you any gifts today, and neither will the rest of these people. So you're gonna have to find another way to pay for your wedding now. Also $10,000 from me? And $20,000 from both our parents and Grant's? That would never happen, okay? You really did a number on yourselves this time, making up such ridiculously high numbers like that in your head.
Wait a second. What do you mean everyone is at your wedding?
I'm so sorry. I never told you anything about this, of course. You had no idea. Actually, today is the day of my wedding.
Huh? Your wedding?
Just what should be expected of twins, having their weddings on the same day even. What fun.
What? Wait. What are you talking about? If you're having a wedding as well, who are you getting married to today? Grant has been going out with me, and we're having our wedding today.
Who would want to marry that dumbass guy? I'm getting married today to a man I started dating after Grant. He would never settle for me like Grant, and he told me I'm the only one that he loves and will ever love, and it shows.
Huh? Frankie, after being thrown away by a guy like Grant, you were able to find yourself a new boyfriend?
Yeah, someone from my work. He came and confessed to me after work one day. We planned to get married to one another not too long after we started dating, but I made very sure not to ever tell you about it. Today is our 1-year anniversary, actually.
I have no idea what's going on here. I am your family, so you shouldn't have to hide something like that from me. Why did you never tell me about getting a new boyfriend? You left me out of the loop.
When it came to my normal family, I went and told all of them the good news. But you happen to be my little sister that thinks it's okay to steal her older sister's boyfriend. You think I'd ever want to tell a wasted sister like you about the happy things that have been turning out for me?
What the hell? I thought you had been so destroyed from having Grant taken from you by me, yet this whole time you've been happy? How the hell did you get another man like that? And now you're getting married today? Who the hell said you could do that?
I did. I didn't have to listen to a little witch that steals her sister's boyfriend from her and then hides the fact from all of her family.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, good luck with that $100,000 wedding you have there, okay?
Huh? By the way, what did you mean by everyone is going to your wedding? So far, I haven't been able to get anything from Mom and Dad. Actually, not a single person has shown up to my wedding yet. Don't tell me that they all chose to go to your wedding over mine.
Even Grant's mom is here.
Huh?
She happens to be a good friend of mine and wanted to see my wedding today. We're both very close friends after all and really enjoy going to concerts together now. She was really happy to have me invite her to my cute little wedding today.
Stop messing around already! Why the hell would my fiance's mom be going to your wedding today? That is completely screwed up on so many levels.
Say whatever you'd like about that, but she's the one that gets to decide which wedding she wants to go to. And that's the same thing when it comes to Mom and Dad. All of them knew that my wedding would be taking place on the same day as your wedding, so it was all up to them to choose which wedding they all wanted to go to.
What the hell? There is no way this is actually happening.
But when it comes to friends, I don't have too many of them, so I didn't really say anything. So that must mean all of your friends should still be going to your wedding, right? It was really helpful that you were so popular back in school, right?
There is no point if only my friends come today. I was going to use all the money I'm gifted today to pay for this wedding. I have to get over $10,000 today. But my friends will never be able to give me that kind of money today.
Well, let's hope one of them hit the jackpot and is feeling very generous today. Now I have my wedding to get to, so goodbye. Let the both of us twins have a wonderful day at our weddings today.
Thank you so much for giving such a beautiful wedding today. I noticed that all the songs you had today were from DTS, and that was awesome. I would have loved to have had a wedding like that back in my day. And that wedding dress you had on today. Oh, it made you look like a goddess with how well it matched your body.
I should be the one thanking you as well. I never thought I'd be getting a surprise message like that from DTS today themselves. And the fact that you put all of that together for me, I'm so thankful. I'm still so happy about all of that. I'm shaking while I'm texting you.
Oh, I'm sure you are after a day like today. I didn't actually know that DTS would be doing all of that for you, though. I just sent them a message online saying that I have a very special friend getting married soon, and that she deserves a special treat from them.
That was so amazing of you, Sunny. Thank you so much for doing all of that for me. But really, was it really okay for you to do all of this for me? I'm not talking about all the stuff you did for me regarding the concerts and DTS, but the other two. All day today, my phone has been getting blown up by both Grant and Alexa. Is it really okay for you to not go to those two's wedding?
Of course it's fine. I didn't want to go see that dumbass have a wedding today. And had I gone over to their wedding today, I would have never been able to show you that message from DTS, right? I would much rather have fun showing you that stuff from our favorite group than go see my son.
Thank you so much, Sunny.
Also, to get those two to stop texting and calling me, I blocked the both of them. So there was nothing bothering me all day today.
Thank you so much again for making your way out to my wedding instead of theirs. Even after this, I'm hoping to go to so many more concerts with you.
I'm wishing for the same thing, Frankie. Now I'll text you the next time I have a day off and we can get some coffee again. Help me, Frankie. If you don't come and help me, then we are both going to be in so much debt, and we'll be in debt hell. I want you to lend me some money right now.
Huh?
This wedding was supposed to be paid for with all the money you all were supposed to gift me. Yet the only people that came to my wedding were my friends. And since there were only my friends there and some of Grant's distant family, he started to freak out and worry about me a little. He thought there was going to be some kind of trouble and left me at the wedding all by myself. And after he ran off, then everyone else started to get up and leave, taking their gifts for me with them.
So, what ended up happening yesterday with your wedding? You barely had any people show up, leaving just the two of you before Grant ran off, right?
You think there was still a wedding after all that? We had to cancel the wedding right then and there, and I had to take off that wonderful dress I had on.
Dang.
But even though the wedding was canceled, I am still expected to pay the full price of it. They told me to pay them $100,000 for that wedding, even though it never happened.
Well, that's how it works. Wedding venue still had to put in all that effort to set up the wedding for you, as well as cook all the food for everyone's meals and get all those flowers and decorations.
So after that, I freaked out even more and called Mom as quickly as I could. No matter how much I begged to them to give me some money, neither her or Dad would hand me a single penny. And when I tried to get in touch with Grant's mom, I learned that she had blocked me already. I ran back home to Mom and Dad then, and when I opened the door to talk to them, they threw water all over me and forced me away. Nobody is listening to a single thing I want to say.
Oh no, so not even Sunny wants to listen to you? I suppose she's really that good of a person.
I thought that since you and I were twins, I could make something work. So I went to her house as well, acting like I was you, since you and I look the same. I begged and begged and begged for her help with my little sister and her wedding costs. Yet she told me that I looked nothing like you, and I made her want to vomit before she too threw water all over me.
Oh my, oh my. Just listening to all this is getting me so excited. I might have been the one to get married yesterday, but man, do I want to cheer for Sunny right now.
This is not the time for those stupid jokes, Frankie. Just do something to help me already. You two and I are twins, so do something to help. Grant is even with me right now asking for you to help us. You would never throw the two of us away, right? You still have feelings for Grant, and I'm your twin sister. I'm sure you got lots of money at your wedding as well, so you can hand us a little, right?
All of that money I was gifted came from people's hearts yesterday, and that's very important to me. So I would never give such meaningful gifts to either of you. I really don't care that you're both going to hell now with all that debt. You and that man you love, well, you guys just do your best there.
What? You're really not going to help us? I'm your only sister, right? Actually, I'm your identical twin.
Bye-bye, Alexa. Starting right now, I'm going on my honeymoon with my husband.
You're lying. Your sister with the same face as you is having a hard enough time right now. You have no right going on a honeymoon at a time like this.
I don't give a dang about your problems, you idiot. Now good luck to your new life being married with all that debt. And right after that, those two went ahead and took on a lot of debt, borrowing money, and used that money to pay off the $100,000 wedding. Because of that, they were both left with completely nothing in their bank accounts, and they went to their parents begging to be allowed back home. However, not a single person, not Mom and Dad, nor Sunny and her husband, let them come back home. And actually, Grant was told that day by Sunny that she was disowning him, so he was never let around his parents again. This then led to Alexa going around to all of her friends asking for someone to let her and her husband stay with them, but every single one of them said that they'd been lied to. Alexa was telling them that she'd never known Grant before they started dating. However, all of her friends heard about how she stole him from her sister, and that left some sour taste in their mouth. They all would then tell Alexa that they did not want a couple like that in their place with them, and they turned them both away. After a life full of being so popular and having so many friends to rely on, Alexa was in shock, because all of her friends now abandoning her, which soon led to her becoming very depressed and secluded. Her and Grant now have a very cheap, rundown apartment together.